Firstly, we learnt about continuity editing. Continuity editing is editing in a way that the audience does not notice the editing itself. Therefore, it is smooth and helps the audience feel engrossed in the film. The first continuity technique is shot reverse shot. Shot reverse shot is when the cameraman/woman films behind the shoulder of character 1 and then does another shot of behind the second character who is talking to character 1, then you repeat the first shot. This helps to give the audience a sense of who's talking and when they're talking. It also helps to convey to the audience that it is a conversation, as that is one of the most popular uses of shot reverse shot. My opening sequence did not use shot reverse shot because there was only one main character in it with no moments of conversation or communication between another character. Therefore, I felt it was not needed. The second technique is the 180-degree rule, which is two characters in the same scene that should always have the same right and left relationship to each other. This creates a realistic effect on the film and helps the continuity of the shots to make sense. My opening sequence uses the 180-degree rule throughout, which adds to the continuity editing technique for more of a professional feel. The third technique is match on action. Match on action is cutting from one shot to another view that matches the first shot's action and energy. Therefore, the match on action, the cameraman/woman would film. Therefore, for match on action, the cameraman/woman would film several shots just for one action. For example, a character opening a door. In my opening sequence, I included match on action several times when the protagonist is walking to the church, when the protagonist is opening the door, and when the protagonist walks to the chair and sits down. The last continuity technique is eyeline match. Eyeline match is based on the fact that the audience will want to see what the character on screen is seeing. For example, if the cameraman/woman does an extreme close-up of a character mysteriously looking at something, then it will make the audience automatically want to know what the character is looking at. Therefore, at this point in filming, to make an eyeline match, the cameraman/woman will film a medium close-up shot of the object/person that the character is looking at. My opening sequence does not specifically include an eyeline match. However, at the end of my opening sequence, I had a similar technique where I shot my protagonist close up, turning around to look at something, and then the next shot is of the antagonist, which is what she was looking at. Although, in that shot, the protagonist was also turning her head back around, which is why it wasn't an exact eyeline match. From looking at my preliminary task, I can see that I have improved on many aspects to the filmmaking process. The clearest improvement for me is my shot types and camera angles. In my preliminary task, I had a shot of the protagonist looking at the interviewer. However, the eyes could not be seen, and the whole point of the shot was to show the character looking nervously at the second character across the room. After my teacher picked up on this mistake in my feedback at the time, I did not do it again, and I made sure that all my shots in the opening sequence had the protagonist's full face in when it was meant to. My second clear improvement that I can notice is my use of sound. The soundtrack in my preliminary task is very basic and is not cut as well as my opening sequence soundtrack. The cut between the first section of the music and the second section is too prominent and does not portray the continuity of the action I was supposed to convey. However, the soundtrack in my opening sequence fades in and out well, and the audience cannot notice the editing of the music as much as the music in my preliminary task. When I first started the filmmaking process, I did not realise how much it takes to end up with a successful product. I didn't understand the amount of time and effort it takes to create a storyboard, to produce an animatic, and to edit the film. When I began editing my preliminary task, I only used the basic techniques, cuts and cross dissolves. Therefore, it did not take me as long as my opening sequence to edit, which then made me appreciate the hard time and effort real film editors have to go through to create a film.